right, and welcome back to the Xfinity Desk. We are in Week 3, Day 1 of the HCS Pro League Fall Season. And join with me, as always, Tom T-Squared Taylor.
Oh yeah, it's time for the match of the week. We have Optic Gaming taking on Team Envy. So everyone tweet the stream. Let's break the viewership. I think we maxed out at 13K so far. I want to see 15. I want to see 25 at some point this season. So let's get it going. Everyone tweet the stream.
I mean, if there's ever an opportunity to have that many viewers, it's going to come down to this match. As this is one that everyone has been, we talked about it at the top of the show here. Everyone is so excited for this match. I'm excited for this match. These teams have not met yet. We've been waiting to see how exactly the series will play out. We've seen Optic Gaming show signs of weakness here, and we've seen that Team Envyus bounce back after week 1 and be that dominant squad. They are currently sitting in that first seed with a higher map percentage win rate than Optic Gaming, but Optic Gaming is looking to change that here now. Now, looking at some of these squads here, Team Envyus is the new additions of Snipedown and Hook, and of course with the core duo Mikwin and Pistola. Mikwin and Pistola have been around for quite some time now at this point, not qualifying for Halo World Championships, but then coming back out strong and finishing well at Summer Finals. Now, this team, as we've talked about before, was formed to dethrone Optic Gaming, so this is their opportunity to shine. You take a look at some of these squads, you try to pick the best players in the game, well, hey, you've got some of them right here as well. If you take these two squads and you make a player list of the top 10 Halo 5 players that you believe, there's a good chance 3 or 4 of these guys are going to make it in.
Yeah, definitely Hook was the discussion there. Obviously the Optic Gaming squad, you have to give it to these guys as the 4 best players. Everyone's saying Hook was the 5th. Maybe even could have been in the discussion as being a top 4 player, but hasn't necessarily won anything yet in Halo 5. So until you can continue to string together some wins, that's when you're actually in that conversation. That's what Envy's trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, when you go to 3 events, some of the biggest events that we've ever had in Halo, and the lowest placing you have is 4th, that's pretty good record.
Pretty good. It reminds me of how I started my career.
Nice job, Tom. Congratulations there. And I also beat Tom in a series at my very first event, so just throwing that out there.
It wasn't a series. You won 1 game. We split. It was 1-1.
2-game series, we won 1.
Anyway, guys, I am about to click tweet right now, and I did just click tweet. Optic going up against Envy. Everyone retweet that tweet or make your own tweet.
All right, now let's take a minute and hear from Hook here as well, as he has been preparing for this epic series.
Let's do it.
Optic as a team is an incredible team. I mean, they've won the past 3 events with barely dropping any maps. I mean, they're just a really dominating force. Going into the Optic match, one thing that we have to do is make sure we play our own game and not play their game, because they're really fast-paced, straight-up team, so we just got to make sure we play our own game and we'll be good. Having Mikwin and Pistola as a duo helps us a lot because their chemistry is great, their communication for the most part is really good, and it just helps us a lot that they've been teaming for that long. Snipedown will help us beat Optic this week if we can just get him into positions to slay like he always does, and just get him the sniper and he'll just go off. To stay at the #1 spot coming into this week, I think we just have to stay composed, make sure our communication is good, and keep practicing, and we'll be good going into week 3.
And there you heard it from Hook. He's excited for this matchup. He's confident in his teammates, and he knows that this squad is capable of taking down this powerhouse.
They totally are, and let's see what the map selection is for these guys, because that's definitely going to matter. And running through it, it's going to be back-to-back Edens, and that's a good opportunity when you have so many Slayers to get weapons in your hands. So I really do like these for the side of Envy.
And let's talk a minute about Eden Slayer, because although the second time that Team Envyus matched up with Optic Gaming, formerly Counterlogic Gaming during summer season, one of the game types they played was Eden Slayer, game number 5 of the first matchup. Now, Envy had a 45-37. That's 45-37 kill lead with a minute 45 left in the game, and Optic Gaming came back, tied it, sent it into overtime, and won 50-48.
Yeah.
So this is a good opportunity for Envy to, fix any mistakes they've made, exact some revenge here on this Optic Gaming squad with this new lineup. And, some of the last deaths, we had L-Town getting killed by the Hydra launcher by Lethal in that game. And of course, you can always go back and watch the replay or highlights of that as well.
Yeah, not expecting these players to make the same mistakes. And it's, again, like you said, a different team here. They've definitely learned from the previous matchups before. Again, any time that you're going to take down Optic Gaming, it starts with these first 2 games. 0% chance if you go down 0-2 in this series. These guys are just going to continue to put the pressure on. They don't let up. So one of these Eden games has to go over to Envy if they want to win.
Yeah, I mean, and I like that it's going to be back-to-back Edens as well, because we're going to see these two teams face off, potentially the two best teams in the league face off in an Objective and a Slayer back-to-back map, see where the Objective versus the Team Slayer games, who ultimately benefits in those two matches.
Well, Eden plays so differently on Slayer and Strongholds, so it's going to be a completely change of strategy between the two. You want to hold blue and Slayer, and in this game type, you want to have control of the catwalk and the nest area, and look for both of these teams to really prioritize that catwalk. There's going to be the camo that spawns over there in security, the overshield that spawns in the pit as well. There is no sniper on this map, but you will see the rockets outside as well. The sniper will be in play for the Slayer game type, and that's again where we see the players hold blue. So let's see what Snipe Down's going to do.
Yeah, I want to start this off here with Snipe Down, as this is a good opportunity for him. He has been kind of battling it out with Lethal during the first weeks. We even showed some tweets between these two players, a little GG that came out of Snipe Down to Lethal after they beat them in that very first series online.
Yeah, and you could see that Snipe Down was aware that Lethal was going to beeline it immediately from the SMG over towards the pit to pick up the overshield, but Snipe Down's grenade wasn't early enough. You could see that TJ Lethal was able to secure that overshield, and they were able to get catwalk and nest. However, Pistola was able to secure these rockets. We did see some misplays from Pistola earlier last week with the rockets here in this very same game type. So let's see if he has been able to review that, and let's see how he plays this round of rockets here in Eden Strongholds in week 3.
All right, now he shot a rocket there, anticipating a drop down from that Camo player, but Camo did in fact expose himself, and Pistola two poor rockets here and gets taken out. And that's going to put a triple cap now in favor of Optic Gaming. This is not how you want to start.
This is awful, and it's really up to Hook to just stay alive. So I do like that he's slow playing this one. However, he does get spotted from Frosty. Nice grenade is going to take Frosty on the no shield, but Frosty's going to back off here. And if Hook's not able to get a kill anytime soon, if anyone at Envy is not able to walk away with this one, it could get ugly really quickly, because Optic Gaming, they're the kings of the triple cap.
All right, now Lethal had those rockets. They have him in his back pocket, but he looks like he is in fact out of ammo in this weapon as well. They are starting to capture Nest, but a really good flank by Lethal. Waits a few seconds before he starts shooting, and he's going to get a reset here. Now, the rest of Envy is trying to capture top center, but they're sandwiched between two players. They're lucky they even grabbed this hill. That's going to be Royal 2 or Matt now jumping back over into the top catwalk, trying to put some more time on the board for his squad. They won't be able to secure another triple cap, and I like what we're seeing out of Lethal. He'll just back down. You already have two strongholds. You need to defend this bend.
Yeah, and Blue Bend is going to go over towards Envy because of the fact that Optic Gaming was too committed towards that catwalk area. They could have just rotated as Envy was going for the catwalk area. Now everyone's out of position for Optic because everyone on the side of Envy has filled really nice positions on the map. Rockets coming up here as well as overshield, so you're going to see the focus shifting over towards that pit. Is Frosty going to be able to grab this one? Looks like he doesn't go for it. Ends up electing for the melee, getting that back smack onto Pistola, so Pistola can burn the OB. So nice job by both players. Now Frosty letting him go over towards that rocket area. Pick these up now. He has to do pretty much the opposite of what Pistola did if these guys want to take back control.
That was a really smart play from Frosty. He was going to go for a ground pound and realized he didn't necessarily have the best angle. Knew that if he committed and went for the overshield, he might have been able to burn it, but he was definitely going to die after that. He backs up from the ground pound, decides to take another approach, and it works out in his favor.
Yeah, and he still does have two rockets here. It looks like they are trying to capture the catwalk area and do have red nest here. So his job is just to watch outside, make sure no one is trying to push out towards that red fan area. And doesn't look like anyone on the side of Envy has either, but does trade kills with the camo guy. That was his last rocket, so that was a pretty decent play because the player with camouflage was sniped down, and he's definitely a sneaky player here. See Royal 2 picking up a couple kills. Are they going to be able to get the reset on the catwalk? If he is able to hit the auto stabilize, he is, so that's 3 kills. Looking for the 4th one there. Royal 2 putting in work.
And that was such a big mistake from Envy. They had a guaranteed top catwalk. Royal 2 didn't even have grenades to try to contest that, and both players get caught peeking out too long before they're able to secure the stronghold top mid, and they just blew a huge opportunity. And when you're being triple capped on from Optic Gaming, you cannot afford to have that happen.
And Royal 2 giving us a nice little preview here of why top catwalk is just so important to hold. You just have such free range across the map. You can watch every single part. You can watch red, your They're locking down spawns behind you, and now he realizes I need to rotate back in that area. I shouldn't even left in the first place, and now he's just going to slow play this one with the SMG. Triple cap still in effect for Optic Gaming.
And this is not the kind of fight you want to find yourself in. An SMG versus a pistol in up close range. Now Snakebite is pushing over here, going for these new rockets. I do like this play. Nobody able to contest them here quite yet. You have two players about to come out from red side, but those rockets are in fact up, and Snipedown gets caught by himself, and he's immediately going to be taken out.
Yeah, and the triple cap still going. Snakebite with these rockets has 4 left, so should be pretty easy for Optic to walk away with this one, especially since they're able to pick up the overshield here. So Snakebite, glad we're on his point of view, because he is the most powerful player here in the map so far. And if he's able to just do this one like he normally is, play this one like he normally is, then Optic should be able to walk away with this first game.
And look at this. This is not what you want to see if you're in the bend. There's an overshield rocket guy coming flying out to attack you here. Now Ola does have that camo. He's trying to be sneaky. Snakebite did not spot him. They're all right next to each other, but that melee wasn't quite enough, and a great frag nade does pick up the kill.
Nice death grenade, getting a trade with the camouflage player. That was nice, and that was Pistola, who was pretty much up to him to come back and capture one of these, and it looks like they are going to go for the blue bend, but everyone on the side of Optic Gaming is aware of this one, and time's going to be running out. I don't think they're going to be able to get this one. They do at 99, so this one's not quite over yet, and it looks like Snakebite's going for this catwalk, so possible crazy comeback coming for Envy.
All right, this would be something if we see this in fact happen. The great grenade, not able to grab the kill. Now Hook actually picks that up, wasn't scared here, just back down for just a previous moment here. Now 2 players in the bend. Great job by Snipedown, staying alive, and Snipedown extends the life of this one.
Nice bait and switch, and something to keep in mind, Kyle, is that it's not going to be a while until we see the rockets come up. It's about 35 seconds, then the overshield and the camo will be dropping about 10 to 15 seconds after that, and that's typically the opportunity that teams have to retake control here. So looks like everybody on Optic is going to elect for an outside push and just try to go for this blue bend, and if Envy is able to realize that, that should be easily countered.
All right, now Hook is trying to set up here and contest. That nest is going to get reset. He knows there's 2 players outside now. Anybody from Envy dies, they might very well lose the game. There's never been a time you needed to play perfect Halo, as Walshy would say, besides now. They're doing a pretty good job starting to create a run, but there's still a lot of time left in this one.
Yeah, Hook has the SMG, just locking down this position. Gets taken to no shields. Optic not able to finish that kill, and this is Hook right here. This is big. Royal 2 finally shuts him down. However, 2 kills going over to Envy at the same time. Still a lot of time for Optic to just reset here, get in position to try to get the overshield or the rockets or something to make themselves come back into this game. But Envy has control here and possibly making their way for a triple cap if Snipedown plays this right.
And a good rocket from Snipedown. However, 2 members falling in the tower. I was holding my breath there for a second, as that might be all she wrote here, as Blue Bend is about to go over to Optic, but that gets reset here, and a good job from Hook trying to contest that, but 2 members now back up to top center.
That should be game. That should be game. I think they're going to be able to capture one of these at least. Snipedown had those rockets. Yeah, that's going to be game. So first game going over to Optic Gaming, and Snipedown getting a little bit too aggressive with those rockets. Pistola only with 4 kills as well. That's not what you want to see coming out from one of your main slayers there, but mainly Snipedown with those rockets at the end. The triple cap wasn't necessary. He did, you know, have an opportunity to switch to his pistol and challenge that guy as well. Ends up electing to shoot the rocket long range. Doesn't do enough damage. And this was big. Pistola not able to capitalize with the rockets in the beginning of the game as a result of him getting 4 kills, but also the result of the triple cap that continued for Optic and was the reason in the long run why they were able to build on that lead that Envy wasn't able to catch back up on.
And keep in mind that this was a lot shorter of a game than you'd normally see on an even Strongholds. And although Envy did a fantastic job of bringing it back, most of the time that Optic Gaming was able to accumulate was from that triple cap. So, I mean, if if Envyus was able to, you know, secure that 3rd capture and do the same kind of thing Optic was doing, they would have really brought that one back.
Yeah, now moving into Eden Slayer, the good thing for the side of Envy is that they're playing from the blue side, which will give them the advantage in terms of getting the sniper rifle, so I expect to see Snipedown go right for that one. I wouldn't doubt if Optic Gaming has some sort of counter strategy in terms of grabbing the light rifle, obviously, and watching that one, or possibly throwing a plasma grenade and blowing the sniper rifle back, so Snipedown's not able to grab that one for free, but we'll see what happens. This game type plays completely different than Strongholds, and you do want to hold blue base the entire time, so when you're red, you have to focus focus on getting outside, grabbing those rockets, or at least maybe getting the shotgun and making your way towards blue from there.
Yeah, you need to be able to make sure you can use all of the weapons on the map to your advantage as well. Whether or not you're going for that storm rifle, we've seen amazing things, or excuse me, plasma rifle, seen amazing things out of Snakebite with that weapon. You know, even in that Envyus series, the first time they matched up during summer season, we brought this up. At the end of that game, 45-37 lead for Optic, but Optic had rockets, they had sniper, they had hydro launcher, and they had shotgun, and that's why they were able to bring that game back and it'd be so impressive.
Yeah, even the smallest thing, like, you know, if they have rockets and sniper, the only thing you can do is really hope that you grab the hydra or grab the shotgun mainly. The shotgun is a big key to coming back, and that's because you just push in towards that blue alleyway and try to retake the setup from that. But both of these teams probably very familiar how one another play. We even saw how familiar that snipe down was with Lethal's beginning strategy, just to run straight for the overshield. But Lethal ran so fast, had his Nikes on, was able to just grab that overshield and escape over there right in the beginning. And then Optic Gaming just started to run away with that one because Pistola, again, only 4 kills and not doing much with the rockets on Eden.
Yeah, I'd say Pistola has to be the X factor this game. Only having 4 kills, grabbing a couple right in the beginning too, you know, really was shut down the rest of the series. And that's something that doesn't really happen to Pistola. So I absolutely anticipate him to, you know, recover this game and really bring it back.
Very rarely, but that's how often did we see Optic Gaming ever have one person with a bad performance? Pretty much never. And that's just because how consistent these guys are. If you're playing against the best team in the world, you have to be consistently playing good. You can't afford, if everyone takes their turns dropping the ball like Pistola just did, then you're just going to lose the series 3-0. Not one person can have a bad game. Everyone has to be playing their best here. So let's start off with Ola and see if he's able to bounce back. We know he can.
Yeah, I mean, and like you said, he was starting off here at Blue Base, so he's got good opportunities to get some support here from Snipedown and the rest of the crew with these weapons. Now you do see Hook already killing Royal too, and that's going to put another 2 members here trying to contest these rockets from Optic Gaming. Looks like Lethal is good, or excuse me, PJ is going to be the one to pick those up. Great job by Pistola biting that one. Only gets taken to half shields. Rockets are currently down. Lethal is pushing over to them, but he is starting to get shot at. And wow, Mikowan suicides, and that rocket is going back over in the hands of Lethal here as well. That is really unfortunate. Not the same kind of thing. This is not the way you want to start out.
Why charge into that splinter grenade? I don't understand what the point was. I mean, that was a fantastic beginning strat coming out from Ola. I love when I'm red side grabbing the SMG and baiting into there very quickly. I also love grabbing the SMG on the blue side if I don't get the sniper rifle. And you could see he had a fantastic plan. Grab those plasma grenades, shoot the rockets back with the combat evolved metal, and then he grenades right where the rockets land and baits them. So he knows what to do in the beginning of this game type. It's just that he's maybe a little bit nervous going up against these guys, and rightfully so. I mean, it is Optic. They are the best team right now, but you have to put those things behind you and just focus.
All right, now we are tied up, and that last rocket goes into the hands of Pistola as Lethal's unable to get that weapon shot or waste that last rocket. I like that he is sitting over here in tower. It's one of the more effective places to use these rockets, but what a Spartan charge out of Frosty completely dodges that damage.
Just very uncharacteristic coming out from Ola, and doesn't even get a chance to pick up the shotgun there. Gets grabbed from him from one of his teammates. But very rarely do you see Ola actually miss pistol shots, let alone rocket shots like that. So again, maybe a little bit jittery, but either way, only, you know, a 9-8 game here. You're still up by 1, and Ola hasn't turned it on yet. That's actually not a bad sign for Envy.
Now we got about 20 seconds here for the new rockets to spawn up. Snipedown is hiding over at Snipe Spawn. You do have 3 members here of Envy trying to contest this blue bend. You've got Snakebite hiding right around the corner, but he's getting collapsed on. Shotgun so powerful. These up close battles. 1 second, rockets do come up. Nobody immediately pushes for them. Lethal, no shields, does get taken out as well. Frosty pushing over to tower, but that's going to create an opportunity for Snipedown to have these new rocks.
And Snipedown drops the shotgun actually for Pistola and says, all right, man, I'm going to take the rockets this time. So this is the same situation and position that he was in before, and not able to get as many kills as he would have liked over there. You want to try to get these rockets out of this position. It's not a very good spot, probably the worst spot in the map to be in. So I would like to see him bring these back towards blue, or get more aggressive and collapse towards the red base, and then make your way over towards the security. How many rockets are these guys going to whiff? 5 rockets shot in the last minute and only 1 kill. kill, but either way, it's still a 4-kill lead for them.
And that just shows how good Optic is. Never have I seen a team just be so effective at using the
rockets.
radar, you know, locate proximity and using a Spartan charge to dodge rocket and things like that.
Yeah, but either way, still got to be feeling good here for the side of Envy because you have Sniper in Hook's hand. Only 1 bullet left, but that should be enough to be able to bait the new sniper rifle that's coming up. That's the last thing that you expect for these guys to have. It's very rare that you have this early in the game that sniper rifle that was the first sniper rifle in the game still in your hands. So nice unpredictable play coming out from Envy, and they're able to build on this lead now, 9 kills.
Right, Royal 2's pushing around the map here. We'll try to keep an eye on who's got that sniper here as well. In a close battle with Snipedown, Royal 2 and Snipedown battling it out. Looks like both players are essentially just backing down, waiting for help here now. You see CYLR there in the name player ID, but that's going to be Hoop. Snipedown not seeing Royal 2 directly above him. He does hit that ground pound, take the player no shields. Still a 7-kill lead, but 2 people down for Envy, and this is going to be a good opportunity to reset up around these new rockets that are getting ready to spawn and start closing this gap.
While all that was happening, Ola actually had the sniper rifle and got caught out with it, so he elected to throw that weapon off the map. So only the rockets will be in play here for this next upcoming rotation, and that was just a heads-up play from Ola. I do like that. That's some of the things that don't show up in the stats, where you just end up sacrificing one of your deaths to potentially get the weapons out of the other team's hands. But either way, Royal 2 with that nice play, using his radar and the SMG to take out the rocket player. Mikwin, though, takes him down with the Hydra, looking for a couple more kills. If he's able to win this one, they should be able to get the rockets in their hands. Nice collapse, though, and bait and switch coming out from Optic. Only a 6-kill lead now, and positional advantage and weapons in the hands of Optic. They should be able to bring this lead, or bring this deficit a little bit closer.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of that came down to Snipedown just pushing out a little bit too aggressively with those first rockets, not knowing a player is hiding right next to him. With a couple shots from Snakebite across the map, he was not able to even shoot one of those.
And do you see how Snakebite doesn't go into the red nest there and just sits there in the turbine area? And this is what you have to do. Your job as the rocket guy is just to wait for people to come to you. I mean, there's radar on it. It doesn't get much easier than that. And as I say that, Hoop just takes advantage of that and takes the SMG out and gives Snakebite the beatdown, and that's huge for Envy.
All right, Hook is maneuvering around the map here with these rockets. He does spot 2 players, decides, I don't like this angle here with these rockets. I'm just going to back down and try to find a new one. We have a 7-kill lead. Most important thing is just staying alive or making sure you trade.
And again, you don't have to do anything with these rockets. All you have to do is hold a position. Nice job by Hugh to get that kill onto Lethal. And again, I love that he's just sitting back here. No reason to get too aggressive here. Don't give up any dumb deaths. As soon as you give up this death, you know that Optic Gaming is going to collapse. It's really up to Hook. You can see all 3 of his teammates on the player outlines are stuck on that blue platform area. So he's pretty much the main person on that outside area to lock down that position. And it looks like he dies. So everyone on Envy should realize that they can rotate over there towards outside. But they're just going to slow play this one for the Rockets instead.
Yeah, both of these teams taking it really slowly and just contesting each other when the new rockets are getting ready to come up. You see Snipedown hiding down in the pit, knows that rockets are getting ready to spawn and won't push in until they actually pop.
And this is a play that we've seen from Envy numerous times where Hook or whoever it is just crouching on that red lip there and pushes his way inside. Nice rocket and help coming in from Royal 2 and the rest of Optic, but all the players for Envy flooding in towards that rocket area, and it looks like they are able to get the necessary kills. If they can secure this part of the map and get weapons, they will be able to build on that lead, which is currently sitting at 7.
All right, new sniper rifles up as well. That's going to put rockets and sniper back in the hands of Envy, now continuing or extending this lead a little bit. However, Snipedown dies with the sniper rifle. Royal 2 is pushing in to try to get this weapon. He does know that Pistola is right around the corner with these rockets. Both these guys have to play this really carefully. And a good job by Pistola. Wait for some teammates, does grab yet another kill. Still a 7-kill lead, still has 1 rocket.
Yeah, he needs to just slow play this one again. Just wait for players to come to you, crouch, use your radar. They need to get into blue eventually, and they have to walk towards you, so why not just wait and just make it as easy as possible? If you pop out, you're going to give away the information on where you're located, and then you're also going to put yourself in a position where you're weak, and you don't have, the rockets aren't a long-range weapon, so there it is. Just wait for that guy, the shotgun guy as well, and that's perfect. That's the perfect scenario coming out for Pistola, and it doesn't get much easier than that.
And Snipedown does grab a headshot here with this weapon to continue building some of these kills. Now he is picking up yet another one. Now Snipedown is one of the scariest players in the game here with this weapon. We haven't given him a lot this season, but last summer season here, he was in fact one of the top fantasy all-star players.
Again, there's going to be players spawning towards the red fan area, so Snipedown needs to not be too worried about these guys in the security. He needs to watch outside. As soon as Mikwin dies to Frosty, that's when he's going to hear. And this one isn't over quite yet. We've seen Envy blow a lead, as we were talking about before, to the same squad. So weapons in the hands of Envy just like the previous time, and if they're not able to get a couple more picks here, then it could be ugly for them because Optic's starting to collapse.
And Snipedown getting collapsed from all over the map. Misses a lot of shots there. Now that's down to a 5-kill lead. Sniper back in the hands of Optic Gaming. This is kind of a little bit of a scary moment here that they weren't able to really get anything going with that spree they just had. Snakebite, crucial mistake, getting caught on the wall.
That's very unfortunate for Snakebite because every kill matters so much. That could have been a 3-kill lead instead of Envy. They're going to make that a 7-kill lead there. And TJ, he's just, in a great position. It's just that he has to rotate now because his teammates died. And now you also have players like Snipedown who are just charging in immediately and getting kills. And that's pretty much going to be game for Optic. They forfeited blue base over to Envy. Envy also showing a little bit of BM and smacking their dead bodies. So showing that these guys want to compete and make this a close series. And that's exactly what they did here in this Eden Slayer.
Yeah, I really like that. I love the body disrespect that we have going on here, and it just kind of shows you the amount of talent these teams have and how they can essentially take turns beating each other. But Envy obviously not happy with how that game 1 went and looking to come out and make a statement here for game 2.
Yeah, the problem for Optic Gaming was they just didn't control security side enough. They didn't get control of the sniper rifle as well, and they're finally getting a setup, but it's going to be very difficult because they can't afford to even give up 1 death, let alone 2, otherwise the game's over. And no rocket control as well. Even though Pistola is probably about shooting 20% with the rockets, if you give him 20 rockets, he's going to get a couple of kills there. So again, just power weapon control going over to the side of Envy. And Frosty 5 and 14, we were just talking about how rare it was for anyone on Optic to actually go negative or double negative, and there it is, Frosty being the first one to prove us wrong.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Hoop and Pistola coming out strong, like we just said. Pistola in that game 1 really struggled, only 4 kills. Now, he definitely could have been more positive than 15 and 6, but he had 10 assists. He was doing a lot of great things here for his team, and, whether or not you're getting all the kills with the Rockets, as long as you're keeping the Rockets out of the enemy team's hands, you're doing some good work for your team.
Yeah, what's scary about that is it was kind of sloppy from Envy's side, and they still won by a decent amount. That's not the typical Optic Gaming that we, see, and maybe Eden Slayer, maybe one of their weaker game types. So that could be something for other teams here in the Pro League to look at and say, hey, if we can get blue base against Optic, we may stand a chance there. They seem to not slow it down as nearly as much as they needed to. How many times have we seen a team like E6, for example? And yeah, Optic Gaming, they are the best team in the world. Maybe not want to mimic E6 strategies, word for word, but just slow it down a little bit, make yourself a little bit harder of a kill there, try to formulate some sort of plan. I know that they have it, but Envy just added too much pressure, and Optic Gaming ended up folding under that pressure.
I want to take a quick look at some statistics here comparing summer season to fall here. Now, during summer season, our #1 team was Optic Gaming, or formerly CLG, and after the first 2 weeks of the season, they were 4-0 with a 12-1 record. All right, the #2 team was Envyus with a 3-1 match record and a 9-4 game record. So we're seeing a lot of kind of repetitiveness from summer season as far as the lineup scores, things like that between these teams. But what we're seeing is that everyone's so much closer, and you don't have that one team that's just leading the pack.
Yeah, before it wasn't uncommon for Optic Gaming just to 3-0 everybody and just mop up and make it a very quick day for them, but all of these games have been a lot closer, and we can see, again, this Envy squad, they were formulated with one thing in mind, and that was beating this Optic Gaming squad and continuing this epic rivalry that's been carried over from other games now over to Halo 5, so it's great to see, and it's great to see if you're an Envy fan, this start coming out from them. 3 dead for Optic, Fuel Rod in Snipedown's hands, already in the base of Optic Gaming.
All right, now you see TJ or Lethal below the base here. Snipedown doing a good job of popping out when he did. Grabs 2 quick kills. Looks like he might actually be pulling the flag as well as Pistola covering him. Looks like Snakebite. Wow, 2 kills from Snakebite.
Maybe 3. This is a 1v1, but the thing is even during that 1v1, he's bought enough time for the rest of his teammates to collapse on Pistola, so now the flag's not nearly as far as Envy would have liked, especially considering Snipedown got that fantastic double kill. Pistola picking up a kill. It's going to be 2 dead for Optic. This flag's still is alive if someone's able to get a touch. Looks like Ola's going to be the one to do so. Snipedown also picks up another kill. Last guy alive is going to be lethal at the base, just like he was before. Let's see if they're able to get this one. Snipedown has the sword in hand. 3 dead, though. Awesome flank coming out from Lethal and Optic Gaming.
And that is really, really unfortunate. Pistola had that fuel rod, didn't even shoot the last shot, pulled out his pistol, tried to put some extra damage down, but did not hit one shot. Essentially was taken out of that fight and almost completely useless there. And that was a really high chance of that flag going in, and they were not able to secure it.
It's a little bit worrisome for Envy because they had a fantastic start. The first minute and a half heavily in their favor, but Optic Gaming didn't forfeit any map control at all during the entire time. So they had fuel rod and not even able to get the flag past the 50-yard line. Meanwhile, you see Lethal, yeah, he ends up dying, but he was able to get that farther, way further than Envy was able to. So that's just a little bit, worrisome for the side of Envy. It is not the end of the world, though. Just need to set up here, get control of Pink, especially because his cam is coming up very shortly.
Right, gets a flag return here for the likes of Envy and a flag pull from going away from Optic Gaming here. Snipedown runs into the base once more. Now he will die. The flag is not returned yet. Still some time to grab that if they decide to go for it, but too many members here, and Hook will die suiciding for that flag.
Frosty, such a nuisance by going P3 there. It made Snipedown just so uncomfortable because he even called him out, and Frosty didn't drop on that, and one of his teammates just ended up getting the kill. So nice discipline by Frosty, not giving up map positioning on Snipedown when in dropping down to P2, and now everybody in Optic in a really nice position to just slowly get the picks and then push into the base.
All right, now Lethal's listening to some call-outs here, try to determine if there's any players pushing or going on a flank here. Car side, Snakebite does fall to Mikowan, gets the call-outs. Lethal will pick up the kill there. Is getting shot at by multiple players, does all he can, but he was gonna die regardless, not able to grab yet another kill.
One of the things that I've noticed so far in this game is how aggressive Snipedown is in getting towards the enemy base, and that's one of the things that I've talked about is how great of a shot he has. As you can see, he's laying down carbine shots on the guy P2, but I would like to see him get aggressive towards the base right now. Why is he backing down and looking for these extra picks? Could have got that same kill being at the opposite side of the map. Yeah, he's got the sword and things like that, but he was in great position to choke carbine spawns and then push in towards the base. Now let's see if this play is going to pay out for him, because I thought that was a little bit of a missed opportunity coming in and getting the objective.
Yeah, now they really need to reset up and get a few slays before they go for any kind of pull. Snipedown back to bottom center already. Now there is a player above him who also dies. That's going to be 2 dead here now for Optic Gaming. 1 player below the base, 1 spawning car side. Flag carrier needs to make sure he stays alive. There's not enough members of Envy here to defend and get up these new kills. Ooh, Snipedown. Kind of a choke.
Yeah, I mean, it all goes back to the play that he made by backing down from car side, going and grabbing that sword. And if you're going to go and grab that sword, you have to do something with it. Ends up missing the Spartan charge. That's unfortunate for him, but this flag still is alive. Envy running this one P1, able to even get off the spawn. However, looks like Optic Gaming is going to be able to take them down. That's 2 dead for the side of Envy. Flag still down though, P1. Let's see if they're able to get a touch.
Right, yeah, players dying left and right. This is looking like a repeat of what we just saw to open up the game here. That flag does get returned by Snakebite. Great job by him pushing in. Does have to sacrifice his life to secure that, but we've got the new camo getting ready to spawn, and both teams, pushing over towards this pink tower. Lethal and Snipedown in a close 1v1. Lethal kind of getting the benefit, or Lethal and Mikowan, excuse me. Now that camo is up here now. Frosty and Lethal both no shields in P2. Lethal eventually drops down. And wow, look at these guys shot. They're just hitting each other left and right. So much bait and switch, so much backing down, so much charging in again. And wow, Mikowan almost kills and almost destroys Frosty, but is able to push him back and stay alive. The course of events, how much changed by that 1 kill or that 1 lack of a kill, and Mikowan staying alive here. It is really, really good for Envy and really unfortunate here for Optic.
That was a fantastic job staying alive coming out for unfortunately for the Envy side. Optic already has the flag at their base. Nice heads up play from Hook to able to get the pull there. However, I think Optic's going to be in prime position to get this return, especially if they double up on the flag. Looks like they are able to do so. That last flag, that is going to be the first flag going over to Optic Gaming. So fantastic job by Mikowan, but an even better job by Royal 2 working together with Snakebite over there. It was actually off screen, but Royal 2 with the sword was putting in serious work and just distracting Ola the entire time. And it had to be so frustrating for Mikowan to stay alive that long and still see the flag go in for the side of Optic Gaming.
Yeah, he did a great job of throwing the flag out. Actually got below the base and stayed alive. alive momentarily. He did pretty much everything he could in that situation, but the execution from Optic just too perfect here. They're able to keep the flag in the base, actually secure the return. Only lost one player in the meantime doing so, and just like that, 1-0 lead. But Hook has something to say about that, is he's got the sword. Now he's not able to get the flag out, but a couple different good opportunities from Envy. This game is far from over. They could have easily had 2 flag captures already.
Not easily, but yeah, they definitely could have. And one of the things that Optic Gaming is weakened from seeing this game, at least against Envy, is pink control, as you see Mikwin just locking down pink too. But these are all really great slayers coming out from Envy, and also really solid free-for-all players. And where do really good free-for-all players like to hang out? They like to hang out in pink side. So you can see Mikwin just locking this position down and just trapping players of Optic down in that carbine side. So if you can get into this position like Mikwin is, and then you get Hook over there in that bubble, now you're choking Spawn's car side, and you just get someone to pull that flag out, and that's exactly what Snipe Down did. Mikwin needs to stay alive a little bit longer, though. Probably could have used that ledge over there towards that pink street, but either way, a couple kills going over towards the Envy side and possibly being able to get this flag out. Snakebite looking for the return. This is going to be a big kill. Snipe Down gets it. Can they get the touch? They do. Ola with the touch, pushing this one with the camo as well. I'd like to see him leave this one for his teammate, but Hook's already clearing out the base, so I do like that play coming out from Envy. Always got to have an escort back. Also getting that return at the same time, expecting a ground pound coming in here from Ola. Ola's going to put this one in. It's going to be tied up 1-1 in the series and in the game, Kyle.
All right, Pistola is or does manage to escape with the camo here. Now there's still a good amount of time left in this camo. As you can see right next to his shield and health bar in the top left, you can see how much remaining camo he does have here. So good opportunity to lock down control of Pink here. He's already got a carbine. He's able to put down a lot of shots across map. Now it's Snakebite. Looks like he has a sword in his back pocket as well. Great splinter nade to prevent that door from being open for him to rush into. Still tied game, but full map control almost going in the hands of Envyus. They got 3 people sitting top.
Pistola needs to make sure he stays alive in pink 2. Again, this is where Optic Gaming currently has a weak point, and they've been able to take advantage of that so far. So if Pistola can just get this sword back, push over here towards that pink side, that's where the flag's being pulled. That's where the most opportunity is going to be able to come up for this Envy squad. And Lethal not aware that there's a player right behind him. That Pistola has 2 players under the base that are no shields. He could get this pull and continue to push this one in. There's only one more player on the car side that can stop this one. You also have Hook taking the player out of scope behind him. This should be a cap for Envy.
And looks like, yeah, nobody in position, or we'd see some player outlines here now. A bunch of his teammates are dying, but they do secure the capture. He needs to stay alive for as long as possible, allow those respawn timers to come back here. And that camo, of course, is out, but we got the new one coming up. Soul has been alive for quite some time.
Ola, the X factor here. We're talking about how he needed to step it up after the game 1, and that's exactly what he did. However, it looks like Lethal TJ in the enemy base with the fuel rod trying to get this one pulled out. Has another player under the base as well. So picking up a couple of kills under the base is going to be big for Optic Gaming. They should be able to put this flag in as long as no one comes around from the car side for Envy. And no, this is going to be tied up 2-2, 1-1 in the series, and this series couldn't be any closer.
All right, tied up 2-2, still 3 minutes left, and of course, next flag capture will win whether or not we hit overtime. So about 6 minutes left to play in this game here. That camo was in fact taken, as you can see. Mikwin running around bottom center. Now that fuel rod Lethal had, but Mikwin picked up a great trade. Pistola running into the base here now. Not sure if he has one shot left in that weapon, puts it to good use.
This is it. You have camouflage, you have the fuel rod, and the flag is being pulled at the same time. This could be it for Envy, especially if they keep their flag guy alive. Everyone's caught over here on the Eli. Lethal getting a kill with the assault rifle. It doesn't look like that's going to be the flag cap that they need coming out from Envy. All the slays going over in Optic's favor. This could potentially be a counter cap because they're also pulling the flag at the same time.
Red flag
right, now Frosty setting up around bottom center here, decides I do want to go back into P2, keep this side of the map locked down as long as possible. There are members of Envy starting to push out, but they're a little scared to go as they do see TJ or Lethal top center. Great teamwork there to take him out. This is a good opportunity to push up. PJ is by himself over at car side, and you got 2 members of Envy now trying to control this pink side of the map.
It's all about the pink. You have to just sit over here in this area, make sure that you're controlling it. Camouflage not coming up, but it's just so beneficial to hold this area because you have so much cover. You can just evade nades, They don't know whether you drop down P1, P2, or made your way over towards that P3 area. And no, a flag wasn't being pulled, so it wasn't going to be a counter cap. However, everyone on Optic just making sure they're filling the necessary positions and getting into the powerful areas of this map so they can set up for a flag pull. And that's exactly what they're doing. Everyone just slowly starting to filter in here, pushing in towards that carbine, getting into that bubble, and locking down this pink side. So great execution and great patience coming out from Optic.
And this is Frosty just locking down Pink Tower. He's already picked up 3 kills here in this spot. He is still fighting, still staying alive, still putting down insane amounts of damage and keeping Envy from being able to push out. They didn't have any success going on car side when Snakebite had that sword, and now you've got Royal 2 with a fuel rod. They are not able to get the flag out far enough, but Lethal's coming in to try to pick up a few kills here. That's going to be another member dead. That's 2 dead for Envy. Optic Gaming, this flag is still alive. They really need to be able to stop this. Of course, we are looking at the last flag cap.
Look at the patience coming out from Frosty. He's just taking his sweet time and just realizing that he doesn't have to panic. Everything going in Optic Gaming's favor here. They should be able to put this last cap in. The Slay's going in their favor, and they do. They're going to go up 2-1 in the series in the match of the week. Not disappointing. I believe they got out Slayed. No, just about even. So nice back and forth coming from both of these teams, and I wasn't expecting anything else. I mean, these guys, they both want to win so badly, and I can't wait to see how the rest of these matches, not only today, but the rest of these season, Envy versus Optic Gaming is going to be back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the GG tweets that went out when these guys scrimmed online, and Envy finally defeated Optic Gaming in the scrim. Well, I guarantee you, Lethal and Sniped Out, they probably both have those GG tweets ready to go depending on who wins this series.
It's
so
ready to go.
There's way more on the line than where you fall in the standings here. It's personal now.
Yeah, it's personal. No one wants to get the GG no read.
Don't you ever GG no read me.
Yeah, never. But again, I would think that moving into, what's this next game type? Do you remember?
This next game type is, let's see, Empire Strongholds?
All right, so if it is, I'm not sure if that's going to be Envy's best draw. I would give the advantage over to Optic Gaming, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We saw that Optic Gaming, they've won both of the objective games, and Envy's walked away with the Slayers, which is interesting because that's been the opposite of what's been going on in the scrims against these two teams. We heard in the interview that Sniped Down, and that's just Frosty slow playing the entire time. We heard in the interview Sniped Down talk about how when these two teams match up in scrims, it's most likely going to happen where they walk away with the objective game types and lose the Slayers. So completely flip-flopped here today in the Pro League.
Yeah, I mean, and that actually happens a lot in Halo. I remember going to, all of our lands back in the day, and, let's say it's Pit Slayer. Whether or not we win it or the opposing team wins it 9 times out of 10, you go to the tournament, and it's almost always flipped who actually takes that series, whether or not it's a confidence thing, a team knowing, like, hey, we're the underdogs, we need to come out and be strong, or a team being overconfident, like I said, and saying, hey, we've got this one in the bag, whatever the case may be. But, yeah, I mean, it definitely happens a lot where it doesn't matter how you practice, when it comes down to when it matters, lots of times it's just exactly reversed.
Yeah, and not like anyone had a bad individual performance that game, and we've seen, Ola have that bad first game, then Frosty having the bad second game. Everybody playing at their full potential here, moving into game 4. No more excuses, no more bad individual performance. All about who's going to be executing better as a team, who's playing better as a team, and you're right, it's going into Empire Strongholds next. So this is going to be quite crazy. One of the things that you got to really watch out for, again, if you're Envy, you do not want to get triple capped, especially on this map. It will add up twice as fast as Eden. You'll blink, and within 3 minutes, the game will be over. So you have to have a good beginning strategy here. You have to at least burn the overshields. You can't afford to give any overshields up for free, and you definitely cannot get triple capped on.
We haven't been watching a lot of Snakebite here this series, so we're going to start things off with him. Of course, one of the greatest players here ever to play the game, but immediately taken out, not really able to get anything going. That looks like the outside battle is going to be won by Envy. I like what Pistola's doing here, just pushing over to red base. You got 2 members from Envy now securing this capture. That's 3 members now of Optic spawning into the tower, so this is a great opportunity to grab full control of the map. We've got a triple cap going on right now, and we've got Optic Gaming trapped in the tower area.
All right, this will tell us a lot about Envy. I was just talking about how if you're Optic, you want to get the triple cap. You do not want to get triple capped on if you're either team. So if this was Optic, I would say this game would be over. I want to see how good Envy is at holding these setups, because you definitely have a huge advantage advantage here. You can just continue to build. Your points are doubling because you have the triple cap, and it's so hard in Empire to take back control, let alone when you have the double cap, but let alone the triple cap.
Still a triple cap going on and a numbers advantage over to Envy. 2 players from Optic Gaming already without a kill. Blue base is going over here towards Optic, but they're starting to contest
Look at that.
Hook picking up several different kills here, grabbing a reset. This is the longest triple cap we've ever seen on Optic Gaming.
Definitely. I don't think we've seen any triple caps last longer than 10 or 15 points. So this is fantastic start here coming out from Envy. Look, we're a minute and a half into the game, and it's already a 40-point lead. They've held this the entire time. All 4 players for the side of Optic trapped in the base, but none of the grenades hit for Hook, so that's unfortunate. If he was able to land one of those grenades, definitely would have stopped the push coming out for Optic. Now, the overshield is coming up here shortly. It's going to be in the next 30 seconds. You're going to see all the teams making their way, or all the players making their ways outside, but Snipe Down, while that's happening, is just crouching bottom security, waiting for players to push into the pit. And now this is the first time we've ever seen Optic kind of struggling here off guard and just, you know, flustered. And it's just because this is the game type that does it to you. It's such a fast-paced game type. There's not much to come back from once you start giving up control, and Optic very familiar with, you know, doing this to other teams, so they should be familiar with taking back the setup as well.
All right, now Pit is starting to be captured here for Optic. Nobody's contesting it yet. They're all trying to set up around this overshield. I don't know if that's the best idea for them right now, but yes, somebody does in fact get a kill and a reset here into that Pit hill, and that's going to be Mikwin. Now you've got Frosty over by tower. That's going to be overshield here in the hands of Lethal. Pistola watching that radar, doing the best he can to delay, but not going to do a good enough job to survive there. Now Hook is getting called out that he is weak front of the base. World 2. Amazing map movement, and this might actually be a triple cap here now for Optic Gaming, unless Mikwin can say something about it.
It's up to Mikwin, and the triple cap is going to actually happen, and they're stuck in tower, so that's not very good for Envy. It was 65 points for the triple cap coming out for Envy. Let's see how long Optic's going to be able to hold this one, even if it is, the triple cap does go away, which it will eventually towards that side base. Let's see how long they're able to at least hold this double cap here. If they're able to get at least 60 points, I definitely think they're going to have a chance here, but they can't afford to even, you know, let Envy breathe here in this situation because how good of a start Envy had to this game.
I mean, and we might be looking at another triple cap here starting. Now you do have the players going for blue base from Envy, but you got Frosty over there contesting that. Does pick up a kill, grab a reset. Another triple cap, so this is back and forth. Serious map control from both of these squads.
And what you're going to see here is everybody on Optic try to hold outside and force Envy inside the tower spawn. Or they'll spawn on top of the base like they did at Red. So they'll spawn Red platform or security side, and all you have to do if you're Optic Gaming is just hold outside because that overshield's going to be coming up eventually, and that's going to be, you know, something that Envy's going to have to try to get to in order to come back here, not necessarily in the game, but at least able to take back the setup, and Optic's fully aware of that and set up perfectly for the strategy.
And Optic Gaming just doing an amazing job of the bait and switch, using the plasma pistol really effectively here. Mikwin is trying to keep them from taking red base, but as he dies, that's 2 more members in there. That's going to go over very quickly. Once again, just trading bases here. Envy's doing what they can, but 40 seconds now, a 43-second run already from Optic Gaming, and we saw 60 seconds out of Envy. So you've got about another 15 to 20 seconds for Envy to stop Optic Gaming from getting control here, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's all about this overshield that's coming up here pretty soon, so whoever's able to grab this one should have a huge advantage. I think that was Envy grabbing this one, and Pistola, so Ola able to grab that overshield. Let's see if Envy's able to capitalize. They already have 2 bases. Let's see if they can get 3 here. So they were able to get 65 points with their first setup, and Optic Gaming was able to get 49. So that's a huge advantage going over to Envy here, especially with the fact that Pistola has this overshield in perfect position, and as long as they don't overextend here, they should be fine.
Right, this is a pretty good opportunity for them to push across. They got one player weak. Pistol hits another one with a nade. They're going to push into this base. That lethal player is in fact weak. He'll die. There's a player jumping up towards the DMR platform. He's probably going to sneak behind here on Pistola. Does grab 1 kill. World 2 throws the good splinter nade, but not going to be able to do quite enough here as that triple cap once again goes over to Envy, but Optic Gaming trades bases once again.
This is looking like we're going to a Game 5, Kyle, in our match of the week. Unless something miraculous happens here, Optic Optic Gaming is going to have to make a push either towards the pit or towards the side base. With so little time left, I'm most likely going to bet on a pit push here, but everyone on Envy is going to be aware of that, and they're not even going to give Optic Gaming time to go for anything. They're going to go for red base themselves and try to get another triple cap here, and that's most likely going to be it. Yeah, the time's eventually going to run out here, and we are going to be moving to a game 5.
And Tom, just imagine if Envy had actually come out and won that Truth CTF game that they were so close to doing. They had a 2-1 lead. They were not able to close that out, but look at these slays here. Heavily outslaying Optic Gaming again. And we talked about this squad. You put these guys on paper, and this is a team that has the slaying power to shut down Optic Gaming. Yeah. And look at Frosty. We saw him one game with 4 kills, was it?
Yeah,
now
4 or
one
5.
with 6 kills.
Yeah, so I think it's 5 and 6 kills for 2 games for Frosty. Very uncharacteristic from him, but Hook, that's definitely a map that I can see Hook excelling in because his mechanics are very good, his map movement, and just the way that he is very quick with his close range battles. He's very mechanically skilled, and his reaction time is very quick, and that's one of those game types, again, it's very fast paced, where I think that this is going to be one of those opportunities for him to shine, and that's exactly what happened there. And I thought that this was going to be very tough for Envy, but based on the start that they had, they were just able to carry that momentum over. I was saying how they couldn't afford to get triple capped on, but I wasn't expecting them to have a triple cap of their own, and that's the first time we've ever seen Optic Gaming on the ropes like that.
Yeah, I mean, Optic Gaming has had a couple close calls before, even against this lineup, but now we're going into a Regret Slayer.
So we're going into Regret Slayer. It's game 5. It's our match of the week. Everyone tweet the stream, twitch.tv/Halo. Get your friends involved. Make sure we hit our peak number. I think we were at 13,000. I want to see 15. I want to see 20. I want to see 25. Tweet the stream.
And of course, if you are in the stream, we got to get some stream predictions going right now. So maybe let's go 1 for Optic, even though Envy's number 1. 1 for Optic, 2 for Envyus, and see where everyone at home is standing. I wonder if anybody on their predictions are changing a little bit. Like, I was hoping we'd see a game 5 between these two squads, but I did not necessarily think it would happen. But these guys are all playing extremely well. You know, we're not seeing as great of performances from Pistol and Frosty as we've seen in the past, but that's because of who they're matching up against. It's a lot easier to get 30 kills against a lower seeded team than it is against the number 1 seeded team.
Yeah, I don't know how this one's going to go. It's very tough because we saw Slayer go into the hands of Envy. They won Eden Slayer, and they did it very well. So based on that, I would probably say that Envy has the momentum from the previous game. But it's gonna come down to Frosty, just like it came down to Ola. Ola, with that rough game 1, has had a fantastic series after that. Frosty, this hasn't been his best series, which is arguably, you know, he's maybe one of the best players on his team. We talk about how Snakebite, yeah, he's kind of the leader of that team. Royal 2, great Slayer. But when you look at overall, you know, just everything that a player can bring to the table, Frosty's definitely up there, if not, you know, number 1. So definitely looking for him to step it up here in game 5.
Yeah, I mean, this is also coming down to a little bit of Frosty versus Hook action. You know, these are 2 of the newest members to the scene. You know, of course, we have other players, but on lower seeded teams. But these are the 2 players that are at the very top, consistently winning and taking second place, and arguably 2 of the best players in the game as well. So 2 newcomers, 2 young guns, and 2 of the best players here in Frosty and Hook.
This is all about top center control, all about controlling car as well, making sure that you have top center control so you can afford to drop down for that overshield as well. And whoever's able to get off to a hot start here is going to have a huge advantage, just like we've seen so far in every game this series. Halo 5, the beginning strategies are more important than any Halo previously because how fast the games can come to an end. And whoever's able to get this overshield should have a huge advantage. Looks like that's a fantastic start for Optic Gaming. They're able to secure the overshield, get a couple kills as well. That's going to be lethal, picking that one up at 46. And Optic Gaming coming out hot, game 5.
4-1 lead, overshield, scattershot, plasma caster, everything going over to Optic Gaming. They know they don't want to see that GG tweet from Snipe Down, and they're trying to say something about it.
And this is a perfect position to bring the scattershot in because the typical retake strategy is to flood people out towards that car side. So if you have that weapon, everyone that comes out, you just have a free scattershot on them. And this is what Optic Gaming does really well. They are perfect at rotations, and also they play fantastic in collapses. So they get in there, get you out of the base so you don't have split spawns, and then they immediately rotate over there, and all 4 of you are trapped at blue. So unless you get out of that base fast enough and sprint from P1 or go car one or even go bottom center, then you're not going to stand a chance against these guys.
All right, now they do have a numbers advantage as they're starting to try to push across the map. That's 2 dead here as we go on board with Pistola. Take a quick look here at the stats. There's numbers advantage is over to Optic Gaming right now. They were able to grab a few kills here, trying to cut down this lead a little bit. Now he is crouching around. He knows there's players over at red base, but not sure how many are there. Catches another eye on Lethal. Knows Royal 2's top center, knows shields as well. Great shots, and
oh, snake bite. Wow, double kill. That could have been a huge double kill for Mikwin, but instead, snake bite picking up a couple and then ends up trading kills with Snipe down. So a couple kills being traded back and forth for these teams, but either way, that nice little lead that Optic Gaming had is starting to dwindle because Envy's starting to get a little bit of map control here. You can see Mikwin here with the noob combo, the green gun and battle rifle. That's perfect for when the overshield's coming up because you don't even necessarily have to drop for that if you're Mikwin. You just need to get eyes on it and say, hey guys, I have the green gun. If we can get the overshield, that's fantastic. But if they pick it up, don't really worry. So let's see what they're able to do here because he's the most important player on the map so far for Envy.
And that was Royal 2, had the scatter shot backing down a little bit. You see him getting a few shots off here, trying to do some damage. Great nade coming in, not going to be able to do any damage. And Mikwin really scared to go into that base. New overshield is up. No one's able to grab it here quite yet, but Envy is in better position. That's Hoop pushes up for it. Royal 2 finally pops back out. Does pick up 1 kill, but just like that, we're all tied up.
That was a nice job by Royal 2. Eventually gets the better of Mikwin. Mikwin, a little bit of miscommunication with his teammate. Could have just backed off of that one and let him get the overshield. But either way, I like that Royal 2 valued his life here because everyone could have just, anyone could have challenged that and, just said, hey, whatever, it's early in the game. But keep in mind, we've seen so many 50 to 49 games here. It's not very unlikely that this would happen here.
All right, we got 1 shot left in this plasma caster. Looks like it's not going to do anything, but he does charge up and shoot that one. Still 1 kill game here. Close battle between Royal 2, but Royal 2 picks up that out pistol for a double kill.
That's a huge kill coming out from these guys. And now Optic Gaming is going to be able to secure top center control. And Envy had control during that time, and Mikwin had the green gun in a perfect position, and now they forfeit that over now to Optic Gaming. So that's the first mistake we've seen from either team so far. Let's see how heavily it gets punished from the side of Optic.
All right, still a lot of time here before the new sniper rifle comes up, but that's Snipe down. He's running around with a scatter shot here now, so we'll see him as he does the slide up to top center. Tries to be a surprise here. Mikwin coming in to clean up those kills. That's going to be a couple going over to him. Now that's a 3rd member dead. 3 down for Optic Gaming. Tie game, and they're going to be trapping them in red base.
So rare do you see Optic Gaming not take advantage of map control there, and Envy was able to easily just push out. Not only push out, able to get continuous kills and actually secure the rest of the map for themselves. And again, this is twice now that they've had control with the overshield coming up, which is a huge advantage.
Mikwin pushes in, wow, and gets some help from Snipe down. Actually, great collapse here from Envy as all 4 members push across. Mikwin's going to get rewarded here with the next plasma caster. Another couple of great shots to finish off the kill. He's watching his radar, knows the player's jumping up. I like some of these plasma caster shots, but Frosty is just too sneaky.
Yeah, Frosty faked like he was dropping down and then ends up clambering back. And that's one of the things about this guy. He has some of the best mechanics and map movement in the game, very similar to Hook. And like you're saying, it's that Frosty versus Hook battle, the 2 young guns and up-and-comers here in the HCS. And it's just been back and forth like this entire series has been. However, finally Optic Gaming starting to build on a little bit of their lead here, especially because they have overshield in the hands of Frosty. It looks like Snipe down trying to hide over there. Lethal was getting baited, but Frosty ends up coming in with the help. So here it is. If they're able to get a couple more kills here, this is what Optic, again, really specializes in. Once they get control, very rarely do they give it up. But we saw earlier, Envy, they're no slouches at retaking control either.
All right, now Mikwin's Hook's trying to do all the damage he can to try to take some of this overshield off of Frosty. He does sneak up on Snipe down. Snipe down's doing a good job of trying to contest him. Does actually win that 1v1, so pretty good heads-up play, but take a look at the score. It was just tied up a moment ago. Frosty gets out of the base into top center, distracts everyone long enough here from Envy, is able to grab or take out Plasma Caster that Mikwin had, able to grab that new overshield and all that, and we got a 7-kill lead here, all at the hands of Frosty in that heads-up play.
Snakebite back with the BR in his hands, picking up a double kill. Again, Optic Gaming with really nice control, getting top center. All they have to do is wait for Envy to push out and decide where they're going to come from. All 4 of the players for Envy trapped at a base, but Lethal gets picked off from Pistola, and here comes the push coming out from Envy. This could be bad from Optic as a couple players are starting to drop.
Now Pistola knows there's a player still over here at pink. Does get the hit markers. That's going to give away that player's location. He does end up finishing that kill as well, down to a 5-kill game. Hook is in a great position, but needs to make sure, that he drops off of here before he ends up suiciding. Good job listening to call-outs and trading yet another one. This next overshield is going to determine a lot in this one.
Yeah, and Hook has the green gun in his back pocket. So with the overshield coming up, that is the weapon that you want to have next to having that plasma caster. But even the green gun a little bit more powerful. He gets taken out though, snakebite from top center area. And now here comes the drop for the overshield. Again, Kyle, like you were saying, this battle is so crucial here. Mikwin picking up a couple of kills, but that's not going to be enough. Other players from Optic starting to collapse. Looks like TJ Lethal able to burn that one. So not the best, but not the worst coming out from Optic, but at least it doesn't go over to Envy. Now every kill matters.
All right, now Hook is top center. That's 2 players working together. 2 dead now for Optic Gaming. Now it's a 2-kill game on it. Game number 5 for our match of the week with our number 1 and 2 seeds.
This is absolutely insane. Who's going to clutch it? Hook making his way over here. I don't like that everyone on Envy is all in the same area. They forfeited a lot of map positioning towards top center. Frosty picking up a double kill. Now it's a 3-kill lead for Optic. Everyone on the side of Envy needs to get towards top center immediately if they want to stand a chance in this game. They are down a little bit, and everybody's stuck on the bottom of the map, so huge advantages for Optic Gaming.
Yeah, they have no top center map control here. They are getting a few players weak, but they're not able to finish off any of these kills as Frosty grabs yet another one. They know Frosty is currently above them. Snipedown is in a good position, but you can't afford a trade there.
Ola picked up 2 kills, so now it's only a 2-kill deficit here for Envy. He does have the plasma caster as well. Overshield not coming back up for another minute. Now only a 1-kill game and map position control in the favor of Envy here. It's all going to be up to Ola with this plasma caster. Snipedown getting that kill onto Snakebite. Ola switches over, gets that kill onto Royal 2. It's only a 1-kill game here. Ola picking up the double. Where's the last kill for him? They're all hiding inside red base here for Optic Gaming.
Trapped.
Here comes the flood. Everyone making their way over towards TJ. That's the last player alive, and that's gonna be it. Optic Gaming falls to Envy 3-2 in Game 5. Snipedown 17 assists.
Look at these stats. Game 5, Optic Gaming falls yet again this series, or this season, and that's gonna put Envy taking this series back to our number 1 spot. We talked about Frosty versus Hook. Look at Frosty's assists. 14 kills, 15 assists, 13 deaths. That is amazing stats, the kill participation that he had this game. And at the very same time, we talked about Frosty versus Hook. 17 and 9 out of Hook. Definitely the MVP here.
Everybody turned it on at the end for Envy, especially Hook dropping the most kills for his team in the final 2 games. And that was crazy because Pistola ended up clutching it as well. He ended up getting 2 kills with that plasma caster, and that ended up being the big difference maker. So looking, Mikwin, he flew under the radar that entire series, but that's always a good sign for Mikwin, where he doesn't have to be the player to sit there and carry his team or put up ridiculous stats. And I'd be totally happy with not having much of my screen showed because my teammates were playing so well, and that's exactly what happened. Everybody on Envy playing so fantastic that we didn't even know who we necessarily wanted to watch, and they walk away with that one 50-47.
I mean, and keep in mind that Optic Gaming had 47 kills when Envy had 45, and they got 5 unanswered kills to steal that Game 5 victory here and take the number 1 spot in the league.
Yeah, it was Ola with that plasma caster making his way over towards that car side of the map. Not sure how he even was able to pick that one up, whether it was a dead body or maybe even picked it up from the pink side and rotated over there. But it was shocking to see them forfeit the map positioning. Optic have control, 47-45. All of a sudden, they don't have control anymore, and then end up losing the game. That's a very uncharacteristic. I've said that word a couple of times so far, but that's what we've seen so far from Optic. But that's the pressure coming out from Envy, and that's just because how good they are.
Yeah, we put it in the top of the show here. This squad of Envy was orchestrated to defeat Optic Gaming, and in their very first matchup here for when everything's on the line, they in fact do beat them as well. Now, I don't know the total amount of times that these two teams have scrimmed online, but we know that at least one of those scrims was an Envy victory 9-5 when all of those, GG tweets initially came out and all the hate that we were seeing there. But I can't wait to see what these guys are tweeting as well. They got to be on top of the world, and they had a really rough kind of start to the series as well, dropping that first game.
Yeah, 9-5 in the series score from that original scrim, and that's the first time that we've seen them lose a scrim. Not only that, but so handedly, almost doubling the amount of wins that they had. But we got a winterview with the man himself. Ola is on the horn, and Ola, How are you feeling after that win, man?
I can't tell you what our comms were like, man. We were going insane because I mean, down by 4 or 5 kills. Honestly, I obviously since the stream's delayed about like 20 seconds. I went back and watched it, and y'all didn't have it on my screen when I got that double like plasma caster kill, and it was so lucky because I was just shooting all the shots I had, and I got a double. Didn't even notice I was there. Super lucky.
I was wondering how you got
super
that
lucky.
double kill. So yeah, a little bit of wizardry coming out from him. But I want to talk about the first game because we had a little bit of a rough start for you in the series. What were you thinking after that game? Was it just a little bit of jitters, or were you like, all right, now it's time to step it up?
Honestly, that if you could go back and watch that game and you'll say like this guy, even though he went 4-14, he didn't look like he played that bad. They were just playing it so well and putting us on constant spawn trap, and we honestly had a very bad start. So I didn't even feel like I played that bad that game. But people look at stats and they're going to immediately assume I had a bad game. I felt like my shot was on and I was making good decisions. They were just out rotating us.
So let's talk about another rotation game, which was Empire Strongholds. You guys came out and got a triple cap to start. Now, that's very rare for that to happen against Optic Gaming. So how were you guys able to get that triple cap, and how are you guys able to keep it so long?
Well, as most people know, if you've been watching Halo, at least Halo 5 so far, Optic is probably the best team at that game type. So in general, if you don't have a good start on that game type, they can just steamroll and continue to just get overshield and saw. And the thing is we actually didn't get that many saws off spawn. We were just getting the overshield. So, I mean, and the saw really helps out. It's just like Eden, get the rockets, stronghold, get the rockets before you get the overshield. Makes it a little bit easier. So we weren't getting the saw, but somehow we were getting the overshields. And in the very beginning game, we had such a good start and like got full overshield all alive and just got a triple cap. And even when they got control, they actually played it really well in the middle of the game, but then we just clutched up and got the final overshield and just made plays. So we just had a strong start.
How much time have you guys spent researching what they're doing compared to researching what you guys are doing and trying to improve your overall gameplay compared to how much you're actually just focused on playing the game?
Well, I will say that like we're mostly just focused on ourselves, but I watch a lot of gameplay. I watch every scrim. I look at everything. I'm constantly just watching Halo because I love watching it so much. So, but honestly, I don't know, man. I really don't.
Would you guys really value that outside the practice type stuff? Because a lot of people have that mindset where I just got to grind the game over and over again and good things will happen. But to me, it seemed like you guys definitely looked at their beginning strategies, had formulated plans moving forward. Is that something that you guys sat down with alumni and sort of orchestrated?
Because it's hard because beginning game strats change so much, like even before we knew like Optic were going to be watching us. So we switched our beginning game strats and scrims this week. And so they hopefully wouldn't know. And we're assuming they're going to do that too. So it's really hard to know what a team's going to do in the beginning. Like even Eden Stronghold, I didn't know Frosty pushed Red 3 to Red Nest immediately. And he caught me off guard. And I was like, oh crap, here he is. So, I mean, the beginning game strats are very important, but it's really hard to know what they're going to do because they can just, right before the game starts, just make the transition and change. So it's, you just got to play your game and hope it works out.
All right, Pistola. Well, congratulations on that victory. It's glad to see you guys finally close out that game 5 and not fall short like we saw in the summer season and brought up a few times. But congratulations once again. Tell all your teammates that we said hi here from the booth, and best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you. You guys have a good one, man. Thank you very much for having me.
Wow. And Envy does it. We talked about it. Like, this is a team that got 3-0'd by Liquid and now comes out and defeats Optic Gaming.
Yeah, again, I think that Liquid came out the gates really hot. Envy had a lot of expectations, so immediately when those expectations become too much, you can end up, faltering. But when it came down to it, their true test, they formed this team to beat Optic, and that's exactly what they did. Now it's up to Optic to respond.
Yeah, I mean, and that was probably that 3-0 by Liquid was one of the best things that could happen to Envyus, because it was a wake-up call. Hey, you guys can't overlook anybody. You guys all need to play your A game.
Definitely.
All right, now, of course, that does it for Game 5 of the match of the week. Now, if you like what you saw and you want to go back and rewatch any of these matches, you can always head over to youtube.com/ESL Halo. Be able to find all of the information there, all of the old rebroadcasts, all of the individual matches as well. Now, of course, a lot more action in store here, as well as our next match up is going to be LOL versus Team Liquid. And we'll go into that after a quick break here, so don't go anywhere.
Stronghold captured.